Forgotten Places, the first in an ongoing series where I take you through different locations that I have visited in Canada and the United States that are abandoned, forgotten, derelict, that I've gone and photographed through my own explorations and with an urban exploration photography group. The first place that we're going to visit is Buffalo Central Terminal in New York, which is located in kind of a residential area, although I'm sure that's not what it was when it was originally built in the 20s. The great thing about Buffalo Central Terminal, for someone like me, where this was my first place ever to go to learn about urban exploration, is that it's got all the hallmarks of a great urban exploration location. You've got the decay, you've got, you know, the kind of creepy little rooms that you can go explore, and you've got peeling paint and asbestos and all that cool stuff. But it's also a little bit more safe because the building itself is being taken care of and trying to be restored by a group that's taken it over, a historical group. So you can go there and you can request to take a tour. The tour, for most people, will take you through the more safe areas, like the main tall building has a large atrium area that has been renovated a little bit, so it's a little bit nicer and there's no debris in there. But if you go in there and let them know that you do urban exploration or that you're into photography or that you like rust and things like that, for us we were able to go up, further up into the building where the offices were, and in those locations everything was still there. All the, you know, office accoutrement, chairs, filing cabinets, every scrap of paper I think that building ever had, that's where they dumped it when they abandoned that building. It was really neat. That's all you were walking on. Broken glass everywhere, peeling paint. The other area that you could check out for this building as an urban explorer, the building, the way it's laid out is you have your main tower, which is like a square in the front, and then behind it you have these wings that kind of come out, and that's where you would have the trains would come into that back part and drop the passengers off, and then they would walk into where the main building is to catch bus connections, or their loved ones would be there to pick them up and, you know, take them home or whatever the case may be. So the train area was also all, you know, falling apart and decrepit, and you could easily walk over into there and walk all up and down the train tracks, and that area is huge. And there's also stairs going down kind of into a basement area in that, which I didn't go into, unfortunately. So let's move on. What I'd like to do with these is show you some photos that I've taken when I was there exploring, and give you a little bit of history about the location that we're going to talk about, because I think it's important to know a little bit about where you're going. Yeah, it's really cool to go urban exploring and check out a building, but it's kind of fun to also know the history of the place, you know. What kind of people were there? When was it built? You know, the more history you know about it, the more you understand perhaps the architectural features, or you understand the stuff that you're seeing there, the memories that are left behind. So let's move on to the photos and the history, and I'll see you after that. Enjoy! Buffalo Central Terminal is a fabulous set of buildings built in the Art Deco style. It was designed by Fellheimer and Wagner, and construction was completed in 1929 with a grand opening gala on June 22nd that was attended by 2,200 people, the largest event in Buffalo at the time. The first train left the station that day at 2 p.m., and Buffalo Central Terminal continued to shuttle passengers for another 17 years. In its heyday, over 200 trains passed through the station every day, and it was also a major embarkation point for men leaving for World War II. By the 50s, train use had declined in America, and with the BCT suffering large losses of income, it was put on the market but didn't sell at that time. A decade later, with further income losses, it was decided to demolish some of the smaller buildings to save on taxes and maintenance, and so the coach shop, ice house, and powerhouse are lost. With the advent of Amtrak in the 70s, America's largest train provider, they took over and used the BCT, but abandoned it in '79 in favor of the new hub in Cheektowaga. The last train left BCT on October 28, 1979. The buildings are now owned by the Central Terminal Restoration Corporation. and they're spearheading the effort to preserve this architectural and historical landmark. Their first major renovation, they relit the tower clock in 1999. And then they reopened the main concourse for tours in 2003 after cleanup and asbestos removal. The site has now been named to the Preservation League of New York State's 7 to Save list. Welcome back. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it makes you want to go and check out the building and maybe give them a donation and help them restore the place back to how it was. If you want to know more about Buffalo Central Terminal, they do have a website. It's www.buffalocentralterminal.org. And apparently on their website it says if you want to take a tour, you need to go to a website called Buffalo Tours, which is at no www, it's just buffalotours.org. Not a lot on their website, but I guess they're the people to contact to schedule a tour of the terminal. Apparently their tours are starting at 11 a.m. and approximately 2 to 2.5 hours in length. So, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be posting more soon as I visit more places. So, bye!